Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the What's on Joe Mind TeamStream. Thanks for staying through the end of another terrible Atlanta Braves baseball game on the Superstation. We are here now. It's 9:05 Eastern on a Wednesday. So it's time for What's on Joe Mind. I'm your host, Mike Irizarry. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Hey, not too bad. I know we promised everybody Roger Taft and Greg Augustin. Greg Augustin is running late. He's on the West Coast. That happens sometimes because like 9 o'clock for us, I think it's like
6 for him.
4:30 p.m. on a Tuesday for him. So it's way back.
That's accurate. Yes,
he's living in the past, baby. Living in the past. And so he'll be on when he's able to join us in just a little bit.
As soon as he's off the 405.
Actually, I think he'll be streaming from the 405.
405.
It's entirely possible. It is April 30th, the last day of April. And you know what that means?
It's gonna be May.
No.
I was unaware of that.
Oh, I have to get Frosted Tips JT out there.
Oy.
In all of his 90s horror. I love it. Oh. One of the best stealth Saturday Night Live hosts of all time, though. One of those guys you just don't expect to be any good at it, and it turns out he's awesome at it. Whole new respect for Justin Timberlake. Not a huge fan of his music, but man, as a Saturday Night Live host, he was great. It's great.
I don't think I've watched that show since Chevy Chase left.
So not since 1976 then, huh?
Basically. I was in diapers when it was still
Okay. So, I mean, that's a long time to be in diapers, Roger. You're like 11.
You know, sometimes you need them.
Boy, we hear you there. That's why one of our sponsors is Depends. You got some juice loose in your caboose. Get some Depends on those ends. Maximum absorbency, maximum happiness. Check that out. Hey, Roger, that guy on the package there, is he related to you?
Not that I'm aware of, but
seems like the big burly happy type. That's kind of your mold, right?
A little bit.
Right? I'm just saying.
There you go. You got to get it on some of that Depends action.
Yeah. There you are, Roger.
There I am.
That's a future for you.
That's my future career, to be the model for the
Depends spokesmodel. we were talking about it once off air, and you know that guy does not get recognized. Like, because while that is a prominent, photo on an item that
people are looking at,
right? Yeah. It's the top of the line for its field.
Yeah.
No one is going to admit that they're looking at that package. So they're
no matter what package they're looking at.
Right. They're just going to avert eye contact with the model on the bag.
That's right.
It depends. So
we didn't talk about that off air. We talked about that on air.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's not a big line to cross on that for us. So
especially when it comes to Depends.
Right. I know you guys have lots of choices for your live stream viewing on Wednesday. You probably didn't choose right, but we are the funniest one.
Yeah. You didn't choose right, but here you are now.
That's right.
You're stuck with us.
You clicked on us. You're going to get recommended every single day.
That's right. So since you're going to get us in your feed anyway, go ahead and do that cool YouTube stuff. Those buttons are down below Roger. That is the like and the subscribe. Go ahead and hit those. Do all that cool YouTube stuff. If you're catching us on the Facebook tonight, make sure that you are doing some kind of reaction. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a heart. Give us a little huggy guy. We love Little Huggy Guy. I'm not sure how much longer we're going to be doing Facebook because they're deleting all their live videos now. Like they go up and they stay up for 4 weeks and then they get deleted. So I don't know. I just
How many views do you get after 4 weeks on Facebook?
Truthfully, we don't do too poorly on it.
Okay.
Yeah, we make more off of Facebook than we do off of YouTube. And that's, but it's not always the latest episode.
Yeah.
So sometimes those old ones, people stumble upon them and they sit on them for 10, 15 seconds before they realize this is 3 years old. And
I don't need this content.
Right. But we get paid for that. So that those hits are gone now. So
yeah,
we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. If you have some thoughts, by all means, leave us a comment down below. Business planners always welcome. Because taking random suggestions from people you barely know on the internet, that's a good business plan, right?
It is. It really is.
All right.
Except it's not.
It got you in the publishing game, didn't it, Roger?
Almost.
All right. See?
Yeah. Aspects of it, certainly.
Oh my God. It's been that kind of a week. I apologize. Things are a little punchy.
Wednesday.
Yeah, things are a little punchy here at What's on Joe Mind headquarters. I mean, my work week is for all intents and purposes over. So yeah, I've already done my 40 plus hours this week. So take that, plebes. I'm waiting for any kind of smack return, and nobody has anything for me.
Sorry.
This is why
now the grim realization of having still 2 more days to go just go. Oh, hi.
The Gunny is on the air. Welcome,
Hey.
Gunny. We heard before the show from the Cub that your 70th birthday is this weekend. Happy birthday to you, sir. Round of applause for the Gunny.
Better
Time
make
for
that
someone
cake.
to bake him a cake.
Right? At the very least, go to Costco and get one of the good pre-made ones. Right? None of that Walmart stuff. Costco. Good cake.
Costco sheet cake.
It's the best. Have you ever had the Costco sheet cake?
I don't think I have. No.
Oh man, they put custard in the middle.
Okay.
Like it's not a layer of, it's not cake icing cake. It's cake custard cake icing. Oh, it's good stuff. Good
While
stuff.
you're there, get a cheap hot dog.
That's probably off my menu for the rest of my life. So, well.
I'm just saying, a little sliver.
Yep.
Go buy the giant sheet cake. Just cut a little corner off. Throw the rest out.
Yeah, I'm not near a Costco right now, so I don't know. So.
Andrew Gaugan says, "Sorry, I'm late. Can we start over? It is far too early to try that gag.
Yes,
we're 8 minutes into the show.
if that.
Oh no, my little timer's up there. 8:35.
Well, it's 8 minutes physically, but we're only 4 jokes in. So
we've gotten that many out.
Does StreamYard actually let you do that? I mean, or just does it shut down the stream now and reset the whole thing?
I mean, Jeff Butler is keeping track of time. It is the record for the earliest appearance of the Depend Dad on What's on Joe Mind.
Oh, that's
true.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's true. But Roger brought up incontinence, and so we got to take that one.
We have to. Yes.
Right. If the car turns down the road, you gotta turn the whole piece of the cul-de-sac and use all of it to come back around.
I may have been coached on what to say for this episode.
Not at all. Not at all. We don't do that.
Not from us.
We don't do that mess.
Wait, we don't have that level of professionalism.
Michael Gene Fleming notes that special request cake has already been pre-ordered and waiting for pickup. Excellent. Excellent. Wreckship 85 going to bat for Kroger cakes. They are good. I will give Kroger some credit, but they are not Costco. Kroger, good cake. Good cake. Not great cake. Gunny says he bakes his own cake as yeah, we know, man. But take a day off at your birthday.
Yeah.
That's right. Let somebody else bake that cake.
Right? Cobra Emperor 6 says he takes blood thinners so he can eat anything he wants without worrying about a heart attack. You should never worry about eating cake. Cake is a universal good.
Yeah,
true.
Don't whatever. It may kill you. Clearly, I've had too much cake.
But
I have no regrets.
Cake.
No regrets.
I really want cake.
Right? My life of late has had less cake in it, and I feel kind of sad. It's not how you want to go. You need to keep up the cake intake.
Yes.
Cut out something else. Keep the cake. That's the lesson I'm taking from it all.
Get rid of that damn fruit.
Yeah. Less vegetables, more frosting. You can have your vegetables in the form of cake.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, carrot cake is a vegetable, right?
Yeah, but it's not cake.
See, I like carrot cake.
It's like the granola of cake.
I
don't know if it's that good. Maybe fig Newton of cake?
No, carrot cake, definitely good cake. Top 10 cake. I can't say top 5 cake because there's so many cakes that I couldn't sit and rank them. That would be its own show.
Carrot cake always brings me back to Minneapolis JoeCon when they had pulled pork and carrot cake. That was it for the dinner. There were no other options. I was very disappointed.
It could have been worse. Could have been pulled carrots and pork cake.
Right.
True. I think in some cases it was, honestly.
But be sure to tune in next week when our episode will be Mike Ranks the Cakes.
I mean, I saw one comment going by and about the fruit and said, well, what about pies? I said, well, of course. Yeah,
well, that's fine.
That was the interesting thing we found out today, Racktime Rob, from that one random YouTube video, is that IHOP, International House of Pancakes.
Oh, yes.
Used to have another chain of restaurants called International House of Pies. And that sounds like something that I feel like I missed out.
Yeah.
Like there was a genuine sense of loss. Like we both were sitting there in the living room, just kind of deflated a little bit when we saw.
I can feel your pain. Yeah.
Because you know what's also good? Pie.
I mean, it's no cake, but it's not bad.
Apparently somebody's knocking at the door here for the studio. So
oh, okay. All right. I'm glad somebody's paying attention because otherwise we just would have gone on for
there we go.
Talking about cake for another
We're talking about cakes and pies.
Absolutely.
Hey, Greg.
Cakes and pies. Can you guys hear me okay?
You interrupt our conversation.
Greg,
sorry,
what are your feelings on cake, Greg?
Cake? My favorite cake actually is this like chocolate cream. It's called a derby cake. It's like 3 or 4 layers of chocolate with cream in the middle. It's always a family favorite.
Good call. Good call, Greg.
Yeah.
Good call.
How about a pie? What's your favorite pie?
Pie, my go-to is a banana cream pie. But there's also a preference to like a blueberry sour cream pie. That's normally a holiday favorite too.
I'm rather fond of peanut butter pie myself.
Peanut butter.
Racktime Rob?
Yes.
Pie?
Favorite pie?
Oh, apple.
All right. Same.
Oh.
Same. We're apple pie people.
What's on Joe's mind is dessert.
Right. We got off on a tangent a little bit today. Yeah. But we're back on it now, Greg. Now that you're here.
Sorry I'm late. Can we start over?
No.
No, it shuts the whole thing down. We've been over that.
It's too early. You can't we're not even 15 minutes in. It's too early for that gag. Like an hour in, then I run the gag. But now, no. Yeah. Well, it's time for the news. Man, by the time we finish the news,
It's gonna be me.
That's it. We're done with the news.
I don't think.
You have that in your back pocket every year, don't you, Mike?
I just threw it together today, and we're gonna beat it to death.
Oh god, yeah. I was sitting on the couch and I just would hear this random. What the hell is that?
Followed by me giggling.
Yeah, it was like, oh jeez. I thought maybe our other brother had sent you something stupid.
That's also a likely occurrence, but not this time.
Yeah.
First news item.
Doop, 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 doop.
There are not a lot of news items this week, kids, so just be ready. Greg, you're filling a lot of time today. You and Roger, we're counting on you for like 2 hours of content.
The meat. Okay.
2
All
hours.
the heavy lifting.
You sent
We
me like
will be doing a talent show.
you guys sent me like two pictures, so 2 hours on that 2 pictures.
Well, we'll just have to give you more pictures.
Funding now on Kickstarter. That's right. It's our good friend Carson Metaxas at 3D Joe's with his G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero field guide being sold in 3 volumes. Volume 1 is full-size shots of figures and accessories. Volume 2 is, I believe it's 90% photos of 90% size photos on file cards. And then the third one is full package. You can mix and match or buy one and not the other 2, whatever. $35 will get you a $35 pledge plus shipping will get you a single volume. If you decide you want all 3, just $90 for all 3. Look at the value. That is funding now. It is another 18 days. The link is not yet below. It was the one thing I didn't have a chance to do before we got here, but it'll be there before we're done at some point tonight. Yeah, it's already funded. So pledge with confidence.
You're gonna get it.
Roger,
Yes,
are you in on Carson's book?
I am in on this one. Yes.
Greg?
In fact, there's a possibility I'll be credited in this one, but we're not sure.
Nice.
I may have some minor input on it. Well, that will remain to be seen.
He don't credit us for nothing.
I did in the first book.
No, I meant Carson. He did. He doesn't credit us for nothing.
I can't control that, but I credited you in the first book.
Granted, we didn't do anything to help him, but past give it the old "What's on Joe Mind" push, which guarantees success.
There you go.
Greg Augustin, what do you think about the Real American Hero field guide?
I love it. I'm ashamed to say I haven't dug down deep. The last time I saw it was when Carson was on the show last time, but I haven't looked through the Kickstarter yet. Probably something I'll sign up with. What I don't know is I've seen some of the images of it. He doesn't show the backside of the figure, right? It's just the front.
No, it's just the front. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's not enough room to show front and back.
I mean, if you're like inspecting what you got, and gotcha.
Cobra Emperor 6 says that I should put all the community calendar intros together and make an hour-long version of all the different. We did put all the community calendar intros together. It's on the channel.
Yep.
I'm not saying we're geniuses or anything, but actually we're not geniuses. That's just something that AbsorbVids, the guy who made those intros, he did that for us. So, sorry, I'm going through the live chat a little bit.
Speaking of which, am I supposed to see the live chat? Because I don't see the live chat.
I don't know. I'm not used to being I'm
guest?
not used to being a co-pilot. I'm used to running the show, man.
Yeah, I don't see it, but I thought in the past I've seen it before, but it's not here today.
Is there a box on the far right of your screen that says comments?
That's where I'm at.
Click it.
Ah, okay. Yes, I was
There
on
you
the
go.
live chat. Hence how I was aware of Greg being in the chat room.
Look at me troubleshooting in a room I've never been.
Hey, that works though. I've learned something today.
Josiah Alcorn says, "Yeah, buy a pie every week was the best New Year's resolution to my almost 50 years." That's damn good. That's damn sound advice, son.
It
Only
sure
every
is.
week?
I mean, is it too late to get in on this New Year's resolution thing?
Yeah. Actually, Carson's next book is going to be the Field Guide to Pies.
All right, I'm in on that.
David Godby, I think he is sarcastically welcoming you late to the show, Greg.
No, he texted me or messaged me over half hour ago, and asked me, "Oh, is Kickstarter coming?" I go, "Why don't you check into the show?" So, hey, David.
Yeah.
Look at Greg getting us a view.
Hey, there you go.
Greg's,
make sure you like and subscribe, dude.
Right, doing all the cool YouTube stuff as we've already instructed you. Anyways, so again, you've got 18 days if you haven't pledged already. My guess is that a lot of you have. Mostly because we told you to. Yeah, I'm standing by that. David Godby says, hurtful things. I'm here because of Greg. Well, thanks. Appreciate it. Greg's not here every week and all, but fine. That's fine. I guess we'll keep doing the show.
Just change the name to What's on Greg's Mind.
Appreciate the support.
We'll set ourselves up as a fan cast to Greg. I wonder what Greg's doing this week.
A special segment. Can I get Absorb Bid to do a little bumper for me?
Carson's Kickstarter, for some reason, it's not coming up.
None of that came through, Rob. You need to get closer to the machine.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get a total on Carson's Kickstarter, and none of it's coming through.
He was. They were up over 80,000 this afternoon, so that's more than twice what they need to get going.
Yeah. Hopefully, we will be at least that high.
I mean, good news is, it did recommend your project to me, guys. It says coming soon.
That's very good.
And we'll talk more about that soon enough.
Yes. Then of course I found a project that I'm looking at going, ooh, what's that? But anyway,
save it for later, man.
Not even G.I. Joe related.
Next news item. Oh yeah, by the way, if you want to know, get the extreme lowdown. Carson was on the show a few weeks ago. You can see there, episode 339 back on March 26th. So I guess just about a month ago. Just go check it out there. Takes up like the whole last, well, not the whole last 40 minutes, but he talks about it a good chunk of time in there. This week from Skybound, for our actual next news item, the last of Silent Issues or Silent Missions month, this one featuring Duke, is on your hot little newsstands and in your hot little hands today. Written and penciled by Wes Craig, colors by Jason Wordy. I like that it's by a guy named Wordy in Silent Missions Month. That is available for you today as a nice way to tie a nice bow on Silent Missions Month.
And a great way to celebrate it is to buy our book on the history of G.I. Joe 21.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. Once we're through our endless run of news. Which
trying to help out.
It's okay. I'm just saying, we have maybe 10 more minutes of news, so it's fine. Whatever you can do to pad it out. Nothing happened this week. Nothing
at all.
Very little happened this week. The Kickstarters happened this week. That's it. That's the whole thing. Next week, G.I. Joe Real American Hero 316 hits the newsstands. That is May 7th, of course. Written by the immortal Larry Hama. Pencils by Paul Pelletier. Inks by Tony Cordos. And colors by the venerable Francesco Segala. We get to see the next chapter in the world of these Crimson Guards that are trying to flip sides, trying to come over to to the Joes, trying to turn on Cobra. We'll see how that goes for them.
Is Snake Eyes strangling Crimson Guardsman, or is he putting on the uniform as
He
a
is.
disguise?
He is putting on the uniform. He is in the house putting on the uniform. Zaymod CGC says that special missions Duke is worth a buy. Being a Duke fan, of course, naturally. Falcone says Scoop. I mean, no, because that was a Deke cartoon and it's pretty lame. No, this guy's got a family. He's not. It's a whole to do. We haven't got a whole lot of detail on it yet, and I imagine this issue will shed some of that light.
It's the people who moved into the Collins house. It's just continually overrun with Crimson Guardsmen. You'd think they'd move that off of Staten Island, but they got it Staten Island.
But it's already prepared with gun vaults and grenades and everything. They just have to replace the people. New code of
he was going to say that Scoop is in this issue. Oh, sorry.
I tend to forget about Scoop, so I don't know what to tell you.
I think most people do.
Did he show up in the IDW run? Like when they promised to have every character in that Snake Hunt, I think?
He was definitely on the cover.
Wasn't cover.
Yeah, the big cover that had all 300 and something guys. Yeah, he was definitely there.
Oh, I just got the big poster from Jeremy Sullivan on Sunday. Awesome.
I'm sure that he did, simply because they had they did pretty much fill that for everyone, including some characters who were long dead.
Yes, exactly.
Heavy Metal got lines, and he's been dead for 30 years. Cobra Emperor 6 says because he was painted yellow. Untrue. Airtight is also yellow, and we like Airtight.
Blowtorch, a lot of yellow.
A lot of yellow on Blowtorch. He makes the pork chop sandwiches.
He does. He does.
We've spent a lot of time on food this episode. A lot of time.
I think we're all a little hungry.
Yeah.
It's dinner time here on the West Coast. I haven't had eaten yet. So thanks, guys.
It's second dinner time here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, goodness.
Never stopped.
And then we've got some Skybound bits. May 3rd, that is this Saturday, is Free Comic Book Day. So be sure to head out to your local comic shop and sample some of the goodies that they've got out there for you. A lot of times on Free Comic Book Day, there are great sales and specials going on at local comic shops. It's usually their biggest day of the year. So if you are a comic book fan, this is the weekend to get out and visit your local comic shop and spend some of your hard-earned shekels.
Our comic shop will be having a Batmobile.
Ooh,
That's right.
Is it in scale to humans?
Oh,
No,
Yes.
it's one of the actual 1960s Batmobiles from the show.
So it's not a die-cast miniature.
No.
No. There's a big time collector.
Yeah.
Up north of here. He's in Fort Wayne, Rob.
No, I forget where it is.
It's one of those northern Indiana towns, Fort Wayne or Kokomo or something like that.
It's
Lafayette.
not Fort Wayne.
I don't know. One of those.
It's on the tip
one of
of my
those
tongue.
cities.
It'll hit me in the middle. I may be able to find out here.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Yeah. It reminds me when I lived in Kentucky, I worked at a facility in Lexington, and I found out that on the weekends, a collector like 2 blocks from the building took out his Batmobile and drove it around the neighborhood. But I was always there during the weekdays, so I never got to see it. But it was an actual full-blown custom 66 Batmobile that he just drove around town.
Logansport.
Logansport. There you go. Michael Gene Fleming. I told my dad we could do whatever he wanted Saturday after we hit the comic store. Priorities sound like they're in order. Jake Rose says, my comic shop already gave away my copies. they would not do that because that means mistreating me means they're endangering their relationship with Rob, and that is something that they would value. Wreckship 85. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, and I care way more about Free Comic Book Day than the Derby that's happening the same day. LOL, horsies, less than comic books. Again, priorities in order.
Yep. Solid priorities in this case, yes.
Right. I just make sure when you're visiting your local comic shop, have a mint julep and wear a funny hat. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
And instead of horsies, you see nerds running around the shop. So
right. Jeff Butler notes that there's a specific Skybound Energon universe book for Free Comic Book Day too. That if it's anything like last year, that's going to be the same as the Energon Universe 2025 special that you see listed for May 14.
Yeah. But you won't have to pay for it. You get it for free.
Right.
I understood there's two different covers. There's that clutch one with the green. That's Free Comic Book Day, and then there's a special one on May 14th.
But it's gonna be the same contents on the inside.
But it's the same stories.
Probably.
See, I thought the clutch cover was May 14 and there was a special cover on Free Comic Book Day.
Well, I guess we'll find out this Saturday.
Right. But as you can see there, May 14, the Energon Universe 2025 special. Transformers 20 will be new to the stands that day. And the third volume of the Transformers trade paperback. Excuse me, I believe that's issues 13 through 18 will be out. So big Skybound day on May 14. No Joe books, though. Because God forbid we don't want Joe books on Mike's birthday. What do I ever do for this stupid brand? And this is where I run from the room in tears, but I can't run nor cry. So
certainly not on cue.
Yeah, no. I cry all the time. You show me a sad movie where a dog dies or something, and
or a chain restaurant that features pies that no longer exists.
That no longer. Well, that wasn't tears. It was just mild depression.
Yeah, just a wistful loss.
Yes.
A sense of loss at an opportunity missed.
Yeah, just being born a little too late. Josiah Alcorn notes that if you have a 66 Batmobile, you have to drive it, and that is absolutely the truth.
Absolutely. Even if you have to drive it as though it were a pedal car.
Does it actually have the flames coming out the back?
Depends on how much you paid for it. That's
right.
That's a feature, an extra feature.
Right. We'll see what Downtown Comics shelled out, or I'm sorry, what Comic Carnival shelled out for it. Phil notes that Mike's working through some stuff right now. Yeah, kind of. Wreckship 85. Mike, Beachhead is showing up in May's Energon G.I. Joe issue. What more could they do for you? They could put it out on May 14th. That's what they can do. You asked, I'm telling you.
There you go.
But I guess, Starscream is half his tank right now, so that's kind of like being a G.I. Joe book. Right?
Kinda, I guess.
Greg, you're the deciding judge on this one. What do you think?
I missed the question. Sorry.
Greg,
what I think about Starscream being hybrid with his tank?
Yeah, I guess. Have you been reading the Energon Transformers?
No, because the reason why I missed your question was I was thinking about those scavenger characters that found Starscream. I was wondering I was going to ask the question. What happened to those guys?
They died.
They did.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
They got smushed up.
They did.
They're not good at. They're in bad shape, Greg.
Yeah.
So it
There's
didn't go well for them at all.
Yeah, I'm not following Transformers. That's what I am.
Yeah, it didn't go well. Didn't go well for them at all. Andrew Galgan notes only 21 likes. Those are rookie numbers. We agree. Be sure to hit all the cool YouTube buttons down below. A little light. I think there's other shows that happen on Wednesday, other lesser shows. I don't know who they are. I really don't pay attention. We we go on Wednesday because we kind of have to go on Wednesday. It has nothing to do with whatever other shows are going on Wednesday. So we will occasionally make jokes about stuff like that, but we don't know. It was Wednesday is just when it's got to happen.
Well, if it will help the likes, I can leave.
No, you're one of
Yeah.
the only reasons people are here.
Really,
Otherwise,
we could leave. If you guys stayed, it would improve the show. But
right.
I don't know if that would
If-
help anybody.
If you leave, it's 2 hours of me and Rob talking about cake.
Fair.
and or
But-
pie.
Yeah, pie is definitely a big factor there. And you can represent it with pie charts.
Ooh, well, now that is a thought.
Yeah. Favorite cakes illustrated on pie charts.
That's
Mind blown.
I do have pie charts of the states that my beachhead figures have come from,
Oh, there you go.
so I could show those off. But we missed Pie Day, so maybe next year. Joe Fan 84 notes that banana cake at Joe Fest was good. That was hummingbird cake, sir.
Yes. Hummingbird cake.
There was banana involved there, but it was certainly not the only flavor at work. It was a cavalcade of whimsical flavors. Phil Donnelly notes, what happens if I leave? I think our audience gets cut in half, Phil.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, there's not many of you out there this week, but that's okay. That's okay. Oh God! Next news item. Oh, this mouse sucks. Anyways, as we've told you for the last few weeks, and we'll continue to tell you, G.I. Joe artist Jamie Sullivan is trying to raise funds so that he can have an operation to save his foot, something that his insurance company has deemed isn't worth saving. Okay, sure, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
God forbid he doesn't have 2 feet. So he and his wife have set up a GoFundMe. The link to that is below. They have kind of stalled out. They're very close to being able to have that operation for Jamie. But if you've got $1, $2, $5, whatever you have to give, please send that along to the GoFundMe link down below in the comment or in the description, and help the Sullivans save Jamie's foot.
Yeah, I want to say I met Jamie and Aaron on Sunday personally at Sacramento Toy Con. I've met them for the first time, and they're the nicest, most gracious people ever. It was a hoot just sitting. I didn't have a spot at Sacramento Toy Con to do, because Josh wanted me to do an author signing there because Larry Hama was going to be there. And Jamie and Aaron were kind enough to make some space for me for a couple hours to sign. And that,
awesome.
That meant a lot. Great guy, very giving people, great, terrific human being. So yeah, if you can help, please.
Right. Let's his toe count is currently at 9. Let's try and keep it better than 5. So let's get the funds together and get that operation done for Jamie. Again, they're very close, so whatever you got, it doesn't have to be a ton. I know that there are folks that you go to that page and you see that some individuals have donated $20, $50, $100. It doesn't have to be anything like that. You got enough people throwing $2 or $3 at it at a time, and we will get where we need to get to in order to get this done for Jamie. But Lenny Hondo says, "Yo, Joe's." Well, yo, Lenny. Charlie Garrison, his toe count is 9 also. See?
Yeah.
Brothers in arms, man.
Or brothers and toes.
Brothers and toes. Sounds like you need to go make a $9 donation, Charlie.
I actually have a friend that has a genetic anomaly that's passed down to the males of his family. They actually were born with 11 toes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Toe donor.
Strange thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how you prove your lineage. You just take off your sock and show I belong to this family. But
11 toes. Racktime Rob has a wart on his pinky that my mom said, had he remained in the womb, would have grown into another finger. So he's trying to show it there. It's kind of there.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
It's actually gotten smaller as time's gone on.
Right.
More
I
like
mean,
a dew claw than an actual pinky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been like some kind of sprout. Just
like a eye on a potato, just
Yeah,
branch.
yeah.
Well, she said when you were a little baby, it was closer to the base of your pinky, and as you had grown, it moved further up your finger as your finger grew.
Yeah.
So
Like a tree branch.
had that had happened, you'd have just had 6 fingers. You would have killed Inigo Montoya's father.
Yeah.
And
That'll show him.
you take that, Montoya.
Bert Montoya. Take that.
Oh,
I don't know if he's Bert.
whatever. Good enough.
Bert Montoya. Attorney at law.
Right.
Sword maker to the stars.
Next news item.
Doot, 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 doot.
Hey, look at that. We just ended a swag shop sale, and it's time for another swag shop sale.
Well timed.
If you head over to the What's on Joe Mind store on TeePublic, May 1st through the 4th, you get all the What's on Joe Mind swag you need for Mother's Day. Right there. Save up to 35% on tees and enjoy deep discounts on everything site-wide. Sweatshirts, mugs, magnets, stickers, caps, and more. You take the kids, give them the stickers. Kids love stickers, right? Buy all the stickers. Roger, how many kids you got?
0 that I'm aware of.
Right?
I'm aware of.
Buy them all some stickers.
No. I'm sorry?
Buy them all some stickers.
I don't know. You already said it up front. My Mother's Day is taken care of now.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Roger's mom is getting the Plug the Damn Show t-shirt.
Absolutely.
Joe Fan 84 says, my son puts stickers on everything. Is he putting What's on Joe Mind stickers on everything? Probably not, because you need to buy some at the swag shop. And it's going to be up to 35% off from the 1st through the 4th. That's right. Tomorrow through the weekend. Big day, May 1st. Lots of folks using May 1st for things.
It's May Day.
It's gonna be May.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wasn't quite on cue.
You weren't going to miss much. That was time 3. It was coming, Greg. You weren't going to miss
It gives me, it's the dumbest things give me such joy. Such joy. Oh, Lord. Joe Fan 84 continues. He puts stickers on the fridge, the vacuum cleaner, the window, the cat. Sounds about right.
Poor cat.
Cats love
Sounds about
stickers.
right. That's actually, it's how I used to entertain, and I use that term loosely. One of the cats, when I had cats, in that I would, anytime I had like paperwork to do at home, the cat would come along and she would just sit down on all the papers that I needed to take care of my work. And so I would walk the cat over to the other side of the room and take a nice long piece of Scotch tape and just attach it to her toe. And she would just be on her back for half an hour, just flapping her arms around, trying to get the tape off of her toe. So yeah, I've been there. Stickers can be a constructive tool with cats. Right. Phil notes, he would say the show has gone off the rails, but that would imply there were rails to begin with.
Yeah.
Look, man, there's no news, so you tell me what rails we're supposed to have. We just gave you the news. There's a Kickstarter. We have guests on who are starting a second Kickstarter. What do you want from me, Phil? Phil's just jealous that he's not the guest.
He's got his own show.
Right? Punk?
Come in this show and talk about it.
That guy. Oh, that guy.
Yeah. Starting up some stuff.
Gunny says that Gene 3D printed a large chunky tank kitty. as a pre-birthday gift yesterday. That is quality.
There you go.
That is quality.
Is that classified scale? Sorry.
Classified scale chunky tech, kidding. Yeah, because the one that the official one that we gave out at a couple of Joe Fests there, that really seems to be more 3 3/4 scale. Gene Fleming, these days I've got several square foot area in one corner of my hobby table with stickers I've acquired from Kickstarters and various other places, including one of y'all. Oh, sure, one.
One. Wow.
You know, you have an almond tit sticker? Come on, man. That sort of thing, that's made for stickers. Josiah Alcorn notes, I don't remember who got the pink almond tit shirt at the last Christmas White Elephant, but it's made multiple appearances in 3 years. Excellent. They sell those in tie-dye now, so you should get another one going. Tie-dye t-shirts at the What's on Joe Mind swag shop. Can't beat that, man.
Yeah.
But
Look like the Lithuanian basketball team.
right? 1992 edition.
Yep.
Next news item.
Do.
No one else is caught that reference, Rob, just so you know. Nobody else.
I don't care.
We know you don't. That's become evident. Also, be sure to take special note of our new minimalist 14th anniversary design. That's right. It's the F-14 Sky Striker silhouette with our logo and the simple number 14 atop. So that is brand new.
Striking design.
Also on sale. We sold a couple of them already. Get that one to tie-dye. I have to admit, I mostly did this one so people couldn't get black T-shirts.
They still can. It'll just be your logo.
Actually,
Stealth variant.
Sky Striker.
it is not available in this one is not available in black. We have the full gamut of colors on every other design on our store, but I did not make black available for this
Charcoal
shirt.
gray.
Did you not want to do the Night Force edition?
No, I'm kind of from the John Cena school of toy-based T-shirts. I think we all have too many black T-shirts, and we should all get blue or red or green or whatever. At almost every opportunity, we'll take the chance to advertise in a different color than black. Joe Fan 84, he's got the right idea. I'm going to get a couple T-shirts this weekend. Got to wait on payday. Don't wait too long. That sale's only through February. Oh. Nobody's got anything? Nothing?
No, I got nothing.
Next news item.
Do.
Hey, lots of leaks and photos and all that cool stuff coming out in the last couple of weeks. One really great place to go and get all of that, and that's the Surveillance Board. Surveillance Board has all your leaked photos, all the daily news you could need, and one great stop, surveillance-board.com, or you can follow them on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. They got all the social media stuff too. But right there, the home base, surveillance-board.com. Say hey to Eric. Tell him what's on Joe Mindset.
Hey, Eric.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Gunny says olive drab is a great color. And our shirts work in olive drab, so I would recommend that. We did just have our 14th anniversary Arbor Day spectacular, so I do like to push the Kelly green shirts for earth-friendly causes. But whatever it is, whatever you want to do, I just encourage you, don't make all of them black shirts. You don't look cool. It's a toy podcast, man. It's a podcast about action figures. There's no cool enough stuff, so you might as well get a color T-shirt that you like, right?
Didn't Henry Ford once say you can have any color you want as long as it's black?
Right, you can get the Model T in any color you want, but that was 1910s factory assembly. It's a different world here in the 2020s. A different world. As I make fun of black T-shirts when both of our guests are wearing black T-shirts.
I'm pretty sure mine only came in black. So
clearly, you're not getting a shirt at such a finery as the What's on Joe Mind swag shop.
I guess not. No. Maybe, Mike. We're both just cooler than you.
No, that's not it.
No, probably not.
I like how I got dead serious for that 2 seconds. And that brings us to the end. Remember, G.I. Joe 3D Printing Podcast is proud to present Chonky Tank Kitty and his Mauler Tank. Mike, Mark, and Archwan get together most every Sunday, talk something about the G.I. Joe 3D printing projects, community, anything you need to know about 3D printing. That's a good place to go, man. Those guys are freaking geniuses. We do have them linked up on our channel page. So when we're done here tonight, head over to the G.I. Joe 3D Printing Podcast. Subscribe, maybe take in a video. Maybe if you're just getting started, they got videos for that too. Check them out. And I think that's it. I think that's all we got for news. So as I hit buttons and try to get everything to work right, which it seems to be just barely hanging on. Racktime Rob, I hear that we're in for some weather.
Why, yes. I mean, just read my little thing down there. So.
Okay. Storms possible after 9 p.m. Stay tuned. So nothing going. It's almost 10 Eastern.
Well, the latest update now is thunderstorms possible around 10:15.
All right. So
I gotta say, Racktime Rob makes a terrible weather girl.
He does.
You have no idea.
He does.
I don't know. I've got a pretty good idea.
I mean, he actually does better with his 5 o'clock shadow than some of them around here. But that's bad. I shouldn't have said that. Anyways, we'll be back with our special guest feature with Roger and Greg talking about After Action Report Command Files Volume 2. After a quick word from our wonderful friends and sponsors at Kokomo Toys.
We buy, sell, and trade vintage and modern toys. G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, Marvel, DC, and more. Located in beautiful downtown Kokomo, Indiana, we are open every Wednesday through Saturday from 12 to 5. It's a theme park of nostalgia. Join the thousands of people who have traveled from all over the Midwest for over a decade to buy and sell with us. Get your geek on.
I'm so glad that break was there. I needed to blow my nose for like 20 minutes.
we could tell.
Bio break.
Desperately try. Just hit the button, Mike. Hit it. Stop talking.
An additional comment on the weather all day today. Basically, it says rain's coming. We meet it this time, and yeah, we're still waiting on it.
Whatever, man. We got a show to do. I can't podcast through another tornado, Rob. I don't have it in me. I don't have it in me.
But think of the audience. Think of the viewers.
They're not here, Rob. They're not here.
For the people.
They're not here. They're all they went to bed early because after all,
It's gonna be me.
Oh.
That's right.
But you might get 3 more likes if you're doing this in rain.
Yeah.
When the tornado blows a live sheep through the patio window behind me.
Absolutely.
That's viral content right there.
That is viral content. Absolutely.
That'll
bring them in droves.
And unexpected surprise guest star.
Right.
Absolutely.
More shit we won't get paid for. That's what it all adds up to. So let's take a minute before we get into the new project, which launches tomorrow on Kickstarter. Why don't we talk about the success of Command Files Volume 1 first?
It did pretty good. We made this book.
The scientific facts, it did pretty good.
It did pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Apparently, when I said let's talk a little bit, we meant a little bit.
Very, very little bit. Yes. So,
I don't have the numbers top of my head, but I mean, I think the last time I was on with you guys, it was like March or February 2023 for the first book.
It's probably been a little bit.
Yeah. I think. And I think then once we got through all said and done, getting that Kickstarter off the ground with the pause and everything, I think we hit like 28K with a 25K goal, thanks to your guys' help. I can't remember how many backers there were, but since then we started, delivered in December of last year. At great kind of reception sales through the online store, and then reception at the shows we've been at. A lot of people really dig it, and I've been getting people saying, "Oh, we've really been waiting for this book." The first impression that I get when people like look at the book, like, "I remember Order of Battle." I wish they continued that. And, I go, "Well, here we go."
Right. Well, they
that
did
was
it all
intent
then.
here.
Yeah.
It's different now.
Yeah.
It's
and I just
different
pulled
now.
up the numbers, and Greg was very accurate on those numbers for just spouting them off the top of his head. So. Good
Greg
job.
knows
Oh, there we go.
Greg knows
Yeah.
the numbers.
Yes.
It's his first book, man. He knows the numbers.
Yeah,
He knows
I
his
got-
baby.
Yeah, totally. It was a totally first experience. The whole crowdfunding thing and being like a nobody Joe fan showing up here, and all of a sudden, I got people like reaching out and saying they recognized the work that I had done, just throwing it out on Instagram.
Yeah.
Now it's a formal thing, and thanks to Mike and Rob for helping being part of that kind of launching pad. Appreciate that.
Anytime. Anytime. That is nothing. You did the work. You put in the time. This is your baby. We're trying to sing your praises here. We're not fishing for compliments. That'll come later.
There'll be
So I get
shameless plugs later.
Right.
That'll
Right.
come in the form of payoffs.
Right. I save that for in-person time when I'm just trying to
Sure.
shake you down for cash.
That's right.
No, but
there you go.
Just
Yeah.
just a pro tip, Greg. Don't be alone with him at Joe Fest.
Oh shit!
Why? Whatever do you mean?
I am so forewarned. Noted.
I mean, I suppose the good news is we're probably not going to make it to Joe Fest. So you're probably safe this year.
Maybe we'll get you at Assembly Required.
That
the other touchstone.
that is on my calendar for this year. Yes. So if
Cool.
nothing
Oh,
else,
Joe Fest.
there. Hey man, I'm still kind of paying for Joe Fest last year.
Aren't we all?
Right. Right. Anyhow, so in regards to the marketing, Greg, last time we did this book, it was a new product, a new format, a whole different kind of idea in terms of what we had seen in G.I. Joe fan projects to that point. How is that going for you this time around? Now that you've got a book under your belt, are you answering more of those questions? Do you feel like you've got better reach? What's going on?
I got better kind of reach in terms of what's out there. When we first went on What's on Joe Mind and pitched it, we were at the time of pitching like a 144 page book, and then using just existing artwork that was out there. And then it was just basically the file card information and whatever images that I can scan and grab. And then, but along the process of putting the book together, we realized there's a whole much more information to put out there. Kind of, if you see the book, I did a history of file cards in there. There was a whole kind of critique of how I got there. So I wrote this whole huge essay of how I got to how I laid out and constructed the book and how I chose the characters and what teams. And then this awesome opportunity to work with a lot of Joe artists that I didn't know that we had contacts with. Roger and Josh reached out to the Blaylocks and the Atkins, both at Robert and Brian, and Mark Pennington. They were so gracious enough to lend their talents to put that book. So it became a fresh new project because we have all these other contributors on there too. So it kind of developed in the most kind of cool way, and then connecting with those artists and kind of touching their fan base. It was just a really cool experience. I'm still brand new, still trying to process it to this day. Yeah.
Yeah, and the first volume had interview, both the cover and interview with Mark Pennington. Mark Pennington's going to continue the same. He's going to continue the same image to the next cover. So it's going to be one big image. And we interviewed him for the first one. We have interviewed. Help me out here, right? Who did we interview?
We have a Ron Rudad interview.
Ron Rudad. I was coming up with Ron Wiggum, and that was wrong.
No, that was
wrong. Ron. Oh.
Interesting story about the cover that Mark Pennington's doing for Command Files 2. Mark was on a local TV news station. The story was about him being a Hasbro designer, and then actually coming back into the biz working on Operation Recall. And one of the B-roll images of him was him at his drafting table drawing, and it was the actual cover of Command Files 2 in process. So a little cameo in that.
Yeah. And he did do that intentionally. He did actually put that on his desk for us. So he
free marketing
a few days ahead.
There you go.
Yeah. So if you want to spoil it, go find that news feed or news article.
Did we get that shared on our website? Did that end up on there?
Yeah, I may have put the link on there. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. If not, it's on Facebook. So.
Right.
Not that it's a huge cameo, but
right. I know. I know at the very least, Carson got it on 3D Joe's.
Yeah.
And that that always extends out to 4 or 5 more pages, just because Mark Pennington is working with him so much on Operation Recall. So, what? How did your experience with the first book make for an easier experience on the second one, or even perhaps a less easy experience on the second one?
A couple revelations in terms of kind of adding more content to the first book. I have to obviously apply it over. One of the newer things that I've added to the book was that if you've seen some of the pages was the service record. Just go deep down in terms of what the characters like military specialty was at a certain time and how it changed, or their grade rank, and even what sub teams they've been on. I mean, there have been characters like the Flints and the Roebucks have been multiple sub teams. I wanted to note that. So that's one of the elements I did not have when I was building these things out on Instagram. So I've added that. And then I'm going to continue to fine tune the story or the creator analysis of how I'm building out the teams for Command Files 2. So most of you know that the Command Files 1 I broke out the Joes in what we call the A teams, so that the heavy hitters, the guys who do the direct action missions. But now the second book is more the support element. So it's your pilots, your drivers, the intelligence guys, the support teams that kind of come in, work with the teams before or after. Even the infantry folks that I had to start kind of being creative with all the leftover Joes I'd had, the downtowns and the side swipe. That's a deep, or not side swipe, side tracks and so forth. Yeah, those characters had to kind of define where they go. And I think I've let this out already, but yeah, I've already had kind of developed sections for DEF and for the Eco Warriors, and there's going to be Battle Force 2000 in there, and October Guard. So basically the partner forces of the Joe team. So we're going to have profiles of those guys already. I mean, I've already designed those out. It's just updating them to the newer or the newer content that I mentioned. We're going to work out other articles and so forth. Interesting sidebars, like what are green shirts? I'm working on an article for that in there, kind of develop kind of their history, how they show up in the cartoon, where they cameoed in A Real American Hero, how big a deal they were in Josh Blaylock's Devil's Due version of G.I. Joe. Maybe a little bit about Steel Brigade or Steel Corps, or however, I don't know how we're going to call it. When I first developed the slide, they were Steel Brigade, and all of a sudden, poof, they're Steel Corps. I figured that out.
Yeah, Brigade Corps. and I'm gonna write the sequel to my article from the first one, the does not identify any known living person. All the characters that are based on real people. I'm going to do that for the characters in this book as well.
Yeah, I researched the book. It's like so fascinating to see how many people involved, all the fans and all the employees before me, all the creatives before me got involved, like the fan club folks and how they sprinkled in their mark in some of the writings of their characters, and so forth. And yeah, it's pretty fascinating stuff.
Okay. So I'll get the graphic up there that we've been showing off the last couple of weeks. So Command Files Volume 2, your Kickstarter kicks off tomorrow. Morning, afternoon, evening?
I think it's 1 o'clock. Was it Eastern Standard Time, or is it going by California time? I forget.
I can't remember when we were having this discussion. I think Josh is out of the country in a different time zone altogether.
But I want to say it's afternoon. So
right, he's got you on Mozambique time. It's
exactly.
It actually started 6 hours ago. Who knows?
It may have. He is on the wrong side of the world right now. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it again. Keep talking while I find it.
Additional things I've learned in terms of building this out. There is an appetite of what about this character and very significant characters that didn't have a toy and a file card thus. So I will have do space for the Don Marinos and the Moltos maybe. And then if I'm going to go down that path, I'm deciding, because we've expanded the book from 144 to 180 now. I am planning to build out an appendix, which will have other characters that are relevant, but didn't have a toy, but they're significant to pay, to call out, like Candy and Balloon Bear, or even maybe the international characters like you've seen in Classified, the Glendas and the Quarrels. They might have a little like a little sidebar note, not a full profile, but at least acknowledge them.
Excellent. Yeah. So you sent a couple of promo images along.
Yep.
And I'll tell everybody in advance that you were talked a few minutes ago about how you took existing artwork, and you did that here too, but this is just as placeholders.
Yeah, there's some of these are placeholders. I can't remember which I've decided with Roger we're going to go at, but Adam Rich has been very gracious enough to actually help lend his talents and his original art to go in here. But we've already in talks with Robert Atkins, and hopefully we can get Jamie to do something for these. But we're probably at 30 or so new character artwork that will probably kind of work in there. Not exactly. We've identified what needs a refresh.
Yeah. The first volume had 33 new pieces. I don't think we'll go quite as high on this one, but we'll see. We'll see what ends up in there.
We okay, Mike? Or some.
I wonder if he sneezed.
Yeah. So,
sorry about that. I sneezed again.
Bless you.
There we
go.
Tight.
I had to clean up. Had to make this beautiful again.
I had sneeze in the pool. I win.
So this is an example of the pilots page, or what I'm calling the joint air operations or joint aviation operations kind of detachment. This section will have your ACE and your Wild Bills, so the helicopter and fixed wing pilots in there. And I'll have a backdrop story like I did with the A teams, and how they relate in special operations to like the special ops Air Force kind of community, as well as a shout out to the Night Stalkers, the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, the Night Stalkers.
And for the folks at home that are maybe seeing the layout for the first time, those numbers across the bottom of the page.
Oh yeah, so we can take a tour of this. So if you want to start, from the bottom, those numbers, I brought them up kind of in homage to role-playing games and kind of specs that you'd see in the back of a baseball card. I wanted to pull out kind of attribute to skills that special operators would necessarily have, like a weapon skill, a close quarter combat, combat engineer, medical, and then assign a rating to it. It's my own personal perspective on what they are, based on kind of what you're reading comics and how they the character is presented in the cartoon, and they're just gonna make it just for fun, just comparative, because I see a lot of character guides out there in other kind of franchises have this kind of layout. So I thought it was just a fun added creative visual, but also just something so folks can just have discussions about. Overall, you see the layout is very visually kind of rich. I try to pull images from the comics, and if they had a cartoon appearance, it's prominently there, just so you can get the vibe and visual of what that character is, and also a dash of nostalgia. Okay, I remember he was in the cartoon. Or I even put little Easter eggs in there. You see that with the G.I. Joe Phantom pilot, I kind of grayed out his name on the upper left, and that's totally on purpose, because if you know, Larry had the inside joke that this particular character, when he had a mission with the Joes, they could never remember his name. So it's there, very faint, but just wanted to kind of a tip of the hat to that part of the lore, the mythology for the stealth fighter pilot.
And he always had him real good at his job too, so that by the end of whatever issue he was in, they'd refer to him. They'd have the real nice nicknames, like, "Oh, what's his name?" And,
yeah, what's his name?
Hey, it's that guy.
Yeah.
It's the fighter pilot. Yeah.
Maybe instead of just grayed out, we should put it in full print, but like erase over it.
Maybe. Yeah. Hopefully, when we see the proof, it'll come out.
Yeah.
Well, like a hint there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what's his name?
Yeah.
What's
That guy.
the other kind of tidbits in there? The content itself that are faithfully transcribed from the file cards. Of course, like Slipstream would have been something that Larry Hama would have kind of written up before Kirk Brazigian put it on the package. And then the other tidbits in there is that service record that I mentioned on the bottom, which is kind of the tracking of the versions of information that are out there. So it's very comprehensive of, hey, this guy was intelligence, or we find out when we get to like Cover Girl, you'd see, oh, she was actually had an intelligence military specialty at one point. However, and then other visuals are the file card, or the ID card up there, where I try to cram in their birthplace, their file name, and the other Easter egg I just painstakingly snuck in their actual serial numbers in that graphic. I don't think I've fully kind of publicly said though, but if you're kind of inspecting the visuals, I snuck that in there too, just for fun. And then up at the top are homage to the kind of iconography that it seems like the classified guys are taking with their file cards or non-file cards that they're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The non-file cards.
Non-file cards. And the dead QR code they have in their packaging. But anyway.
Yeah.
I like the ID cards. I have one of those for work. And so it kind of cracks me up seeing those and seeing the little foil chip and all that. It's a really good mock-up of what mine is.
I think they call it a CAT card, and I can't remember the acronyms. Something access card. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And the other Easter egg tidbit in that graphic, the ID graphic, is I grabbed that security clearance tag from one of the packaging that they had. I think it's the Pursuit of Cobra packaging. That's one of the details in that version of the file card. What's in there? So a little homage, and then overall you see that the file card motif, the manila folder pieces in there too. I think that's kind of it in terms of like the inside baseball behind the scenes of what goes into here. And then the Ninja Force guys, definitely asking for a new art for these be placed. And again, just kind of leveraging what we've seen of them in the comics overall. And you'll note that these guys don't have cat cards. I'm slowly going to move when we start doing Cobra for the next volume. We'll have more of a tear off of a sheet of a dossier that they have, because Cobras and Ninjas probably don't have government ID access cards to the Pentagon, right?
No security clearance for those.
No security clearance.
Wanted posters from the post office.
Yeah, they don't
something
need,
like that.
They don't need security clearance. They can just walk into any base.
That's true. That's true. But somewhere in the Pentagon file cabinets, they'll have some type of sheet on them.
Right. And you tend to forget too like you've got the comic snippets for Ninja Force there. They did have 8 or 9 issues where they were just front and center, didn't they?
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
Cramming it down our throats.
Right. You will love Ninja Force. There is no choice.
Yes. Damn you, toy ads.
And so, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I got to do a write-up of how to rationalize what these ninjas are in the special ops world. Like, if they existed in real life, what are they? Are they like private contractors or just secret mercenaries? I'm not sure.
They just do it as a hobby.
It's a hobby. Buy the book and you'll find out.
Yeah,
Dojo
sells flooring on the weekends.
Right. He looks like he sells flooring all the time. Like Nunchuck, at least I can understand if you're going to have a ninja who's affiliated with the military. Well, he'd kind of look like that, wouldn't he?
Yeah, you would think.
Sure.
I could never rationalize Dojo.
A jungle ninja. And yeah, I don't know about Dojo.
What the heck is he? What is he doing stealthily?
Nothing.
There's nowhere he can sneak. I can hear his shirt.
But his weapons are silent. Anyway.
Sure.
He might blend in at Disney World. Maybe. We'll have to ask Phil about that.
Phil kind of likes the Ninja Force comics. Phil would. They're not bad. It's more the look of the characters that bothers me than the story.
Yeah.
Larry Hama always managed to take some pretty far out there concepts, and sometimes I would really like them. I know I've talked at length before about Raptor and how he just decided to make him the crazy guy who happened to be a really great accountant and just happened to dress like a bird. Okay.
Hey, whatevs.
Right. He made it work.
Do you.
Played him for comedy. You can't beat that, man. That's good stuff. And then lastly, you did mention it briefly a few seconds ago. Oops. Double skip. There we go.
And there's
we
your
got the 2-page layout for a more major character like CoverGirl.
Yeah. So yeah, for major characters, one that kind of crosses over all 3 areas, the toy, the cartoon, the comic, that have kind of significant relevance to those separate continuities. Just wanted to kind of elaborate, because to be a true character guide, just to point out that the different looks there. So here's the ode to CoverGirl, even through the Paramount Pictures movie version in there, so we don't forget, or at least refer to.
Right. She checks that rare 4th box of live action.
Yeah. And then with the kind of delay of Command Files 1, we starting to leak in a couple Energon Universe pieces in there. So I'll have Energon Universe. I'll actually have probably a page in there to talk about Energon Universe characters, at least kind of articulate who has appeared, familiar faces have appeared in that continuity, just so we just have it captured in here.
Right. You'll probably be into that second story arc by the time you get this wrapped up, so it'll be more than just we've seen so far. We'll get, like, issue 7 is supposed to have Flint, Lady J, Beachhead. Yep. So we'll have a little bit more of a window into the G.I. Joe world by that point.
Yeah, and hopefully to pull some of that in there. Definitely. You reminded me. I should have a beach. I'll save a space for Beachhead for the Energon article, since we know he's coming.
Torpedo Mike notes that he thinks Gary just felt a shiver. Yeah. Two-page spread for CoverGirl. Gary is somewhere not happy.
He wants to see the justification for this.
Right. I say that like he's dead. He was just on last week. Gary and CoverGirl. Gary, not his favorite character. And it really has nothing to do with the character itself. It's just more some of the circumstances that arose around it, which would take too long to discuss now. But nobody carries a grudge like our man Godso.
I think the only other call out here
characters anyway.
Okay. On the bottom, if people are eagle-eyed, they'll probably notice I have the Steel Brigade logo on there. That's partial to how I've categorized CoverGirl. She's going to be part of what the military calls a brigade combat team, and I just might as well just call it Steel Brigade Combat Team, just to kind of skirt that issue.
Use what's there.
Yeah. So basically, that brigade combat team would be all the armor and artillery folks and some of the ground troops that would be in there. Yeah, I'll have it all laid out in the commentary.
So again, tomorrow in the afternoon, head over to Kickstarter. You will see that this sucker is well on its way. Roger,
yes,
replay some of the publishing drama which encountered your last effort.
Do we have to recover such?
Well, just lay it out for folks. And
open wounds there, Mike.
We got the book. It's okay.
Right. Because we know some folks will have questions.
Yeah.
So this is your opportunity to say that's probably not going to happen again because we're doing things completely differently.
We are doing completely different things this time around. The first one, the books got lost. They showed up on the West Coast, and somewhere between the dock and Josh's house, they got lost. They took a wrong turn at Albuquerque and ended up in New Jersey somewhere.
Beach.
Yeah, we are with a different publisher now, or printer. It would be a more accurate state. We go through Print Ninja now. The main difference is that they own their factories, and they have total control over what is printed, when it's printed, how it's printed, all that stuff. We don't have to worry about going through a Chinese translation of any kind. We just talk to an American. The American takes care of it. That's all there is to that. We got 21 and the newest one, the Transformer, G.I. Joe Transformer checklist.
Let me get you in the big window here, Roger. Hang on.
We did both of these through Print Ninja. You just can't decide where I'm going to be. We did both of these through Print Ninja, and both of them were here in hand in under 3 months. I think once we actually ordered the books, it was about 2 months. So,
oh wow,
yeah, there was no major delays to it at all. Since they own all levels of manufacturing and delivery, if it gets screwed up, they'll just replace it as fast as possible. So haven't had any issues with them at all.
Doug Dello notes that, Greg, you can really tell the love you have for this project. Love the first book. Thanks, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Absolutely.
David Godby notes that you are now with the Arashikaje Print Company. and that he hates us. Except
That's
for
right.
Greg. Except for Greg, he hates us all.
Yeah, and no irony that we went with Print Ninja.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, whatever problems we had in the past, they are corrected, and we shouldn't have any issues from now on. So.
Yeah, the new print company was pretty transparent. All the communications, we knew where everything was at a certain time. Yeah. Ample time to review. The whole process of kind of proofing and uploading and talking with the print account manager, it was just like flawless. It was seamless.
Yeah, and they get back to you within 24 hours on basically everything. Oh,
good deal.
Yeah.
Actually, should also plug.
This is how about real quick, guys. This is how it's done. Sorry, I'm late. Mom had to have another cardio version. Can we start over? Well,
Hi, Diana. I'm not
Proper
sure.
use of that joke.
yep, it's time. See, now that's how that joke is done. You don't come with that joke 8 minutes into the show. You wait for an hour and a half, and then you throw it at it.
Yeah, Diana, I tried to pull that one early because I was a little late. Didn't even do it for me.
You could just do a whole episode where it's just that every 3 minutes or so. Just constantly. Whether anybody asks or not.
And the other 3 minutes are just going to be that it's going to be May.
It's gonna be May.
There you go.
There you go.
I like the little quick close up on his crazy eyes. Really
We've just covered your content for the next month and a half.
I can't imagine why folks aren't tuning in droves for this highly sophomoric bullcrap program.
Also, too, Roger, did we do the dust jacket?
We haven't covered that today. No, yeah, you've touched it in the last week, so you talk about it. Believe it or not, I still don't have one. So,
the dust jacket.
I was going to say, really, we've talked about the book, so now we want to talk about the campaign. So if the jacket is part of what's going on Kickstarter, by all means, spill away.
No, it's not. But I just wanted to get in because we're talking about Jamie Sullivan. That it's probably not good. But the dust jacket that we have on the website is by Jamie Sullivan. And I think Josh still has it open that proceeds for sale of that dust jacket will go to Jamie.
Yeah, it's $20 for the dust jacket, and that money goes directly to Jamie.
So when folks go to Kickstarter tomorrow to pledge their hard-earned monies towards After Action Report Command Files Volume 2, what are some of the stretch goals and etc. that are available to them by getting the word out and funding early?
Right now, we don't have the stretch goals published yet. We will probably reveal those sometime next week.
Okay.
One of the first ones will be for the cover. That'll be to fund the actual, cover by Mark Pennington. He is working on it, but we would like to pay him. Yeah.
Those things do usually go hand in hand.
Yes, nice. Exactly. So yes, we have not set them in stone. We've of course discussed them, and we pretty well know what they are, but we're not quite ready to discuss these stretch goals yet. We want to reveal that after we've gotten a little promotion under our belt on this one.
All right. So, cost-wise, what are we looking at if we want a copy of the book?
$45 is the cost on the command files. And then, of course, there'll be multiple payment options for the number of books you want in terms of do you want our other books included and that sort of thing. You can get an all-in with all 7 books if you would like.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Deluxe paperweights.
Absolutely.
No, it's if you have not sampled the other fine After Action Report tomes, great reference material, highly recommended, heartily recommended. Got them all myself. Ragtime Rob's showing off his stack of them. So be sure to head over to Kickstarter, check those out. If you have not pledged these books before, if you haven't purchased these books before, it's a great opportunity to get in and get a bundle of them. Get all of them if you want to.
Yeah. Should we review what those books are?
Sure, Roger. Yeah. You have the whole stack in front of you.
I do.
It's the whole library.
Give us the nickel tour.
Volume 1. This is Volume 1, second printing. We actually, when we reprinted it, we had since we did have all the shipping delays, we ended up having plenty of time to re-edit it again. So the Volume 1, second printing, this covers the Marvel era, 1982, 1996, and we went through it and covered, redid all the typos, cleaned everything up, double checked to make sure all the credits were correct. redid some of the images, actually improved some of the images with better graphics, added more content. There's probably about 5 pages worth of content spread out throughout the book. No actual pages added, just more stuff added into the pages.
And so you say, again, just not to because again, I'm trying to present this for folks who maybe have not, done this before, or maybe they're new to our show and so they haven't seen you before. After Action Report Volume 1 covers
Marvel era, 1982 to 1996, and that covers everything printed in English throughout the world, from America, Canada, UK, and Australia. Goes from Marvel all the way through Dark Horse when they did G.I. Joe Extreme. And that also covers all the magazines, all the mini comics, the Transformer issues in the UK that have G.I. Joe's backup stories, the Incredible Hulk comics from the UK that have G.I. Joe's backup stories, or rather Action Force's backup stories. It has the Find Your Fate books and the mini comics that came with Sergeant Savage, all the G.I. Joe Extreme comics. What am I missing?
we have the mini comic from Action Stars serial.
We do have that. Yes, we have that, and the mini comics that came with the figures. Includes interviews with Larry Hama. Rod Wiggum did our cover, and we have an interview with him. We have an interview with Rick Parker, one of the original letterers that did most of the original run. In fact, after Larry Hama, he's got the most credits for G.I. Joe for the Marvel run. Didn't do every issue, but he did a lot of issues.
Yeah, they Marvel was not employing a whole lot of letterers by that point. So
not really.
Kept busy. Rick Parker kept busy.
Yep. So just to thumb through it a little bit, you've got every variation of every cover shown, so you can identify exactly what you've got. You've got the direct market. Get my fingers in the right place. Direct market, newsstand, second printing, and Canadian print all shown so that you could see what you've got. In other parts of the book, you'll have Australian prints and third prints, and just whatever they released, it is in that book. So that covers Volume 1. Volume 2, exactly the same criteria, except it's for Devil's Due. It's G.I. Joe, or let me back up. After Action Report Volume 2, Devil's Due era, 2001 to 2008. This one, we interviewed Josh Blaylock. He also did the cover for us. It's 6 pages of interview with him, and he really got into some stuff that he never talked about before. So you can learn how he got the license, how he lost the license, and everything in between. We actually brought him back into the fandom because of this interview. He was not going to G.I. Joe shows for about 15 years. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, he really hadn't been to one since he had lost the license in 2008. So now he's a regular attendee at Joe Fest and assembly required. So you can thank us for that. This one covers all of Devil's Due, all of the Dreamwave crossovers with the Transformers. There's some foreign content in this one because Devil's Due did publish some Mexican variants in Spanish. What else we got here? It's all the Hasbro content, all the books that they included with the action figures. And we do show the figures that came with those books and in the full package and then the loose figures themselves.
Nice.
Covers all of the Master Collector magazines and comics. Where'd the page go? Oh, I just blew right past it. There we go. We got the previews magazines or catalogs that featured G.I. Joe on the cover are featured in there. So a lot of stuff is in there. There's even a few things in here that were not released, but we have the information on them. That pretty well covers Volume 2. And After Action Report Volume 3, the Larry Hama's IDW era, 2010 to 2022. This covers Larry Hama's IDW run, 155 and a half through 300. and there were a lot more variant covers than there were in the Marvel era. So just that run pretty much covered the entire book. And unlike the Marvel era where we just show kind of the spine, because that's the only thing that's different, we do show the entire image for each book because they are completely different covers, of course. Right. Because there's so much repetition with the covers, there is more story content in this one, so we do cover a synopsis of the stories in this series, in this issue, this volume. The issues that have connected covers, we do show the connected covers so you can get an impression of what the entire image looks like. And now we have a couple of pages that do that in here. What else we got? This one, again, we interviewed Larry Hama, and we interviewed several of the artists that he's worked with during this run. This cover was done by Larry himself with inks by Steve Lealoa.
Yeah, I gotta mention.
What was that?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I gotta mention that I hand delivered Steve's comp copy at Sacramento Toy Con this Sunday, and this is the first time he ever saw it in color, and so he marveled at it. He was just so overjoyed, and handed him the print too.
Nice.
But it was amazing. We've seen this image like on socials for like 2 years already, and I was amazed that Steve hadn't seen it.
Well, he's barely on social media himself. He's really hard to get a hold of. So when I had to discuss things with him for this cover, I had to call him on the phone. I mean, who uses landlines anymore? So it was difficult to get into contact with him, and that's why he didn't have a book yet, because I didn't.
He was over the moon.
Yeah.
His comment to me was how Larry drew Storm Shadow there, and he goes, he suspects Larry draws himself in there.
Oh yeah. There is very little doubt about that.
Yeah.
Then we got the back cover, all three versions of Snake Eyes by Brian Shearer. So he did the drawing, the inks, and the color on that one.
Very cool.
And, James Brown did the colors for the front cover as well. And I think that pretty well covers us on this one.
All right. So three down, 4 to go.
Yeah. We did have the Transformer crossovers in this one as well, because it came up a little short on content for 144 pages, so we filled it out with a few other things like that. Let's see. The History of G.I. Joe number 21. This is a 80-page book on a 22-page comic with no words in it. And it basically just covers a lot of commentary about G.I. Joe 21, how important it is, how it influenced people. This does have some fan input. We have a couple of pages of people's personal stories about finding G.I. Joe 21 or how it's influenced them over the years. We asked a lot of the comic artists for comments about how they felt about it, so you get some of that commentary. There's not page comparisons, but page breakdowns and how the story played out on particular pages and the importance of certain moments and stuff like that. So pretty thoroughly informative about G.I. Joe number 21.
And also, Roger, the new theory about second printing.
Yeah, we covered the second print.
The mystery of the second print.
Yeah, it's still a mystery. I mean, yes, we solve it, but it's not a satisfactory solution for most people. But we do have the answer in here. You're not going to like the answer, but trust us, it's the answer.
Well,
when
things take a life of their own for 40 or so years, that tends to be the case.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, we proved it didn't exist unless you have it in the 3-pack. Then it's like Schrodinger's cat. It is the second print as long as you have it in the 3-pack. And if it's not in the 3-pack, it's not the second print.
Yeah.
Again, buy the book and read the whole story. It'll make more sense.
Absolutely. So
by the 3-pack, you mean like the 3-packs of polybag comics they used to sell?
Exactly. Yeah. So essentially, it's
forward.
Yeah, that one was replaced as the second printing, but it's not marked as the second printing. So, but it is legitimately a second printing. Then we have our most recent book. We just got this about a month and a half ago. Close to that anyway. It's the G.I. Joe and Transformers comic checklist. And this one, basically, it takes the checklists that are at the back of each of the other books and adds to it with Transformers, and then has some of the articles that complement those checklists and a few other added things here and there. It's got all the little snippets that you need for just the collecting part. It doesn't have much of the images that the other books have, but it has all the checklist content of these books. So
Diana's got a great idea in the chat, Roger.
what's that?
Here you go, Roger. One wish: could you do AARs that fit in the comic long boxes? I like to keep mine with my comics.
We can send them with scissors if you'd like to.
Paper cutter.
I would just say
That's
that
not a bad idea,
they
though.
do fit in long boxes. They just fit the
Sideways.
wrong
Go
way.
the other way.
Exactly.
They-
Yeah, you don't put them in this way. You put them in this way.
right, and side to side, not front to back.
Exactly. So no, not this.
That's
This.
yes.
So the cover for this one was done completely by Robert Atkins for us, and I think it came out absolutely beautifully. What do you think? Good. Yeah.
It's smoking hot. Yeah.
Hold it still.
Yeah, I know.
It looks great, Roger.
Yeah.
We have them. We know what they look like.
I wasn't sure, so I had to put it up there. But
So-
it is largely checklists, but it is also a lot of content about how to identify the different books and stuff like that.
Yeah. Sorry, Mike. I got to say what's up to David Warren Hernandez.
Well, that's
Buddy.
fair because he said, "What's
Yeah.
up to you?"
Yeah, but also too, just to highlight, he's actually probably one of the first to ever to back a Kickstarter. I remember Josh calling out. He's always on the top of the list. Anyway, just shout out to him and thanks.
You can't go wrong with Dave Stroh, man.
Kickstarter tomorrow, Dave.
And that's what we wrote, huh, Roger? That's what we got.
That's pretty much it. I didn't cover the first print of volume 1, but that's largely
That's out of print.
It's done.
Out of print.
It's done.
Yeah.
Nobody wants your typos, Roger.
I know.
So if any of that looked good to you, keep in mind, again, the Kickstarter launches tomorrow. We do have the link to it in the box down below. So be sure to check that out. It's right there next to the one for Carson's book as well. So if you haven't pledged that one, get that one too. Make it a twofer. Get yourself some fine G.I. Joe literature. Just in time for, Labor Day.
Something like that.
Yeah.
We are going to run this Kickstarter for 60 days, so it'll go tomorrow through about a week after Joe Fest.
May 1st
Alright.
is International Labor Day.
There you go. Labor Day to Labor. No. Anyways, so there you go. There you go. Thank you so much for taking the time to explain all that to us.
You're welcome. You asked for padded content, so
So it brings us to what we got in. Greg, you got anything cool at Sacramento last weekend?
I did, and last time I was on here, I wasn't into classified, but it's the year or two since I've been starting to pick them up. So my latest one was, and sorry, I don't. The backdrop I do have. It's not gonna work. Sneak it out.
do it
I got
directly in
Doc.
front of you.
Yeah, I picked up Doc, so
Hey!
I'm happy to get going with that. Slowed up the purchase, but because of you guys, I just got on the classified train. So that was my latest pickup, and I
That's what we
did
do.
get comics too. Let's see.
We're the little dudes in the red suits that sit on your left shoulder and tell you to buy.
Yeah, it
things.
is.
Buy it.
Literally, I'm shopping on the website and seeing the Hasbro Pulse announcements. I'm like, I got to get that.
Yeah.
Comics I picked up were a little kind of the GameStop edition G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra. I want to debate with Roger and Josh about if this is the first appearance of Helix, because this is a preview. And we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
And then
In the preview, that's her first appearance.
Right?
and
Like
this
you
guy
could
was
probably convince Roger, but Josh might fight you.
yeah.
He will.
And then this
feral
is
about that kind of thing.
yeah, we'll talk about that.
And
And
I
then
don't mean argue with you. I mean fight you.
Fight you. Okay, we'll throw down on that. And then this one's a retailer exclusive by Dave Johnson. It was $2.95 issue 295. It's still sealed. So
Oh, very nice.
let me get that. Yeah. So that's what I got in.
All right. Roger, did you find anything? I know we put you to work before the show.
I did get my Aaron Ironblood T-shirt about 2 weeks ago, so I'm going to count that.
Right?
There you go.
Baron Aaron Blood.
Yes. So.
All right. Hey, no, that counts. Perfect. Counts
Yeah.
perfectly well. Now I feel bad for making.
Also got this in, which
So
is
did we.
sounding like a joke, but I just got it like a week ago.
Right.
So did we.
You're taking care of all of your constituents first, Roger.
Exactly. Yeah.
Rack time, Rob. What'd you get in?
Excellent. I recognize that.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
No, not really.
All right.
Been kind of quiet on the home front here.
All right. Yeah, I got the same book, of course, from you and Josh. Thank you so much for that. I also last weekend I splurged, and as everybody knows, I've been buying the Blockies Transformers. So I had the opportunity to branch out a little bit, and last weekend I got this guy. You can't beat Blocky's Cookie Monster with his
you cannot.
with his removable cookie and his googly eyes.
Is that arm spring loaded, Mike? You can throw the cookie.
It is not.
Okay.
It is not.
Captain America Cookie Shield.
It is jointed. He's got some range of motion on his shoulders and his elbows, and the wrists go 360. And he's got some legs down there, and his ankles. Whoop! I just popped his foot off.
He broke Cookie.
Cookie Monster.
There we go. He's back.
And 20 points of articulation.
And his head turns pretty good, and you can switch out his eyes. He's got googly eyes, but if you don't want googly eyes, you can also go with regular eyes. And then if you don't
go angry eyes,
if you don't want eyes at all, he looks like a background character in a Hellboy movie. This stares right into your soul.
He kind of does already.
Guillermo del Toro's Cookie Monster.
Cookie Monster. So and he's got his removable cookie accessory, of course. And these guys are kind of hosses. Like here he is. He's a big boy. Like that's Soundwave. They're standing right next to one another.
Mm-hmm.
So like however big you think the Transformers Blockies are, Cookie Monster is considerably larger. So that's what I got in this past week. It's been a kind of a slow week for me too. So we get
Big
to
Bird is in scale to him.
I think he's a little tall, but I pretty close. Yeah. I got if it ever comes down to the Sesame Street wrestling match, I got Cookie winning the whole thing. I got Cookie, but you're not stopping Cookie Monster.
No, you're
There's
not.
a question in the
Especially
chat
if
room.
there is cookies in your corner of the ring.
He's a wrecker. David Warren Hernandez, are you trying to say they're Sesame Street Blockies? Holy mother of all that's holy, I need these in my life. There are not a bunch of them. I think they've just done one wave so far. There's Big Bird and Cookie Monster and Elmo and Abby. Yeah, Abby. So
Cadabra.
sure.
Oh,
And so I just know it's the little girl Muppet that they have now. So Diana Davis said that Claude got a new T-shirt. She sent me a video. I have not received that yet. So we will have to get that up in our assemblage of cat videos.
She also got new floors.
I mean, yeah, but that's not nearly as important as cat videos.
No.
Meow. 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 Meow.
Someday soon, that will be Claude.
Not Claude. No.
Showing off his new T-shirt.
Yeah.
Just to break up the Mr. Sacco monotony.
Come on, everyone loves Mr. Sacco.
Everybody does.
What's not to love?
He is a pampered brute. He probably after getting done wrestling with my slippered foot, he probably got up and beat on the water heater like a timpani. I don't remember.
No, I think that was before he started doing that.
Oh, cats everywhere.
This one does not like to be held, though, so she will tolerate for a few minutes.
She'll deal with it while the pets keep coming, but
Yeah.
Well, not so much. It's more you got about 30 seconds of good petting to do. And
yeah, she's planning her escape already. We can tell.
Oh, yes, very much so. She's just looking for the launch pad,
right? And then
there you go.
There you go. There it is. There you go. There you go. It's all over now. But hey, at least she didn't like walk out in front of the camera and put her butt in front of thousands of people. So,
Yeah,
You mean
Or-
dozens of people?
like every other cat.
I went with thousands, figuring that this is just going to be on the internet forever.
Fair.
So
fair.
you know, we are but immortalized on the sands of time, and someday someone will see your cat's ass. Oh my God! It's time for shout outs. Greg Augustin, who are we shouting out to?
Shout out to our co-conspirator Josh Eggebean, wherever he is in the world right now. I think actually he's in Normandy, maybe. I don't know. Something.
Yeah, he was
Wow.
in Normandy.
Yeah.
Make it sound like he's been kidnapped.
Yeah,
No, he's out on a secret mission somewhere, silent mission. Shout out to Jamie and Aaron Sullivan. They're gracious hosts to me this past weekend. Really great people. So what's up with that? I'll leave the
right.
shout out. Yeah.
Who else you got, Greg? We'll take as many shout outs as you want.
Oh no, I'm gonna hand the torch or hand the talkie stick to Roger.
All right.
Well, considering the time,
he has the conch.
What's that?
I said he has the conch.
I speak. Considering the timing, I'm going to shout out Greg because of the book tomorrow. It's his baby. It's time to shout him out. So there you go. And you already shouted out Josh, so that's taken care of.
I'll notice that Greg did not shout out you, Roger. Apparently,
I noticed that.
He's
but
right there.
your contributions
He's right.
your contributions are lower than low.
I know.
He's the AAR jack of all trades. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I've known Roger for over a decade, which means he's on the readily abused list.
I think more like 2 decades.
Getting there. We're getting there. It's pretty damn close, if not there already.
Absolutely, yeah.
But who else you got, Roger?
I think I'll call it quits right there.
All right. No shout out to Greg from Roger. Wait, no, we did shout out to Greg from Roger. No shout out to Josh from Roger. It's a weird triangle going on at After Action Report.
Hey, I said that Greg covered Josh already, so
Whatever.
Greg didn't cover himself, so it was open mic night right there.
Right. We've been getting calls about Greg not covering himself.
That's true.
That's
And you don't want us exposing ourselves.
No, you do not.
I was hoping Greg would get a better reaction than that. So now I'm horrified that I've scared him off. Hope everybody enjoyed Greg Augustin tonight. He won't be back a third time.
Oh my
Scared him
goodness!
off.
Oh, they're gonna do a trap door on me or something.
He will deny our invitation.
Yeah. No, we think you're just gonna grow some taste and not come back.
Ragtime Rob, shout outs.
Well, shout out to our 2 guests tonight. Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
I'll notice that Rob left your names off conspicuously.
You're right there.
It's because he
See,
doesn't
look
remember our names.
That's it entirely.
Look, no matter what my brother Fred says here, right? And,
Point the other.
Thank you both. Yeah. This is. Yes, and thank you, Greg and Roger, for coming on. And we'll send one out to Josh too, just so you know. Hey, he's mailing people books.
That's true,
Right?
That's true.
Absolutely. Josh definitely deserves a shout out. He gave us a book.
Yeah, and of course to all the viewers at home, abroad, and all the ships at sea.
You know what? I did mess up. I have one more to tack on.
All right.
Yeah. Shout out to all the backers and the buyers of my first book. I forgot. Thanks for the support and the great feedback. It's going to go positive feedback. It's going to go right into the second book.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you.
And for all the backers on the second book that haven't happened yet.
That's right.
Yeah.
All the backers that are jumping in tomorrow and for the next 60 days.
Right. I'll give a shout to our wonderful audience. Thank you so much for joining us here live tonight. If you're catching us on replay, that's all right. We love you too. You count just the same. But you can make it up to us by making sure that you are subscribed to the channel and you've liked the video. Those buttons that happen somewhere down around the middle of this page. Make sure you're leaving a comment for us as well. We love to interact with you guys after the show is done. Really do. Go ahead, Greg.
Oh, they should comment their favorite cake or pie in the comments.
Right, absolutely.
Just load it up.
And to what level they would pledge a Command Files pie book.
After action report, all the pies.
All the pies.
We'll give a shout out to our wonderful friends and sponsors at Kokomo Toys. Very quickly, we'll sing the theme song. Kokomo Toys. Kokomo Toys. To our wonderful friend Justin Timberlake.
It's gonna be me.
I thought we got past that, right? No escaping.
I love it. It's going on the shelf for another year, so I mean, I got to get them in.
Get it out now.
Got to get those in there while I can. And of course, if you're one of our audio listeners, we appreciate you too. Just make sure at some point you get over to the YouTube page and get subscribed to the channel. Try and get consolidated. We're actually hitting a little growth spurt again for the first time in a while. We're trying to keep that going. So feel free, share us in all of your Facebook groups and Reddit pages and all of the social media you keep track of, because every little bit helps. And it counts a lot more coming from you than it does coming from me. So, because they already know I own those pages. So it was like, oh, what's this guy doing spamming? If you do it, it's like, ooh, look at what this person is interested in.
Yeah.
Isn't that wonderful? So there I go, scaring people away again. But yeah, I think that's all she wrote. Gents, I appreciate your coming. You of course get the biggest shout out of all for Roger Taft and Greg Augustin, and all the fine folks at After Action Report, which is you two plus Josh Eggerby. We wish you a lot of luck and success. Remember, everybody, head over to Kickstarter tomorrow at, we hope, 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's going to be 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Okay, so 1 p.m. Pacific. That's 4 p.m. Eastern for all of us that live in civilization.
Absolutely.
And so
sorry, Greg.
Right?
Civilization and Indiana.
Right. Yeah, fair enough. And so be sure to check it out and get whatever books you need. Hit up After Action Report for all of your comic book reference. They do just exhaustive work. They do a great job. Greg's added a great new wrinkle with these character bios and just great stuff going on. I'm again, I've known you for like 2 decades, Roger. I'm thrilled you're having success with this. I'm very proud of you.
Why, thank you, Mike.
But that's what we got, guys. As our friend Vagon likes to say, stay safe, and if you can't, be careful. We will be back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. or so here on the Superstation with another episode of What's on Joe Mind. Have a great rest of the week. And yo, Joe.
Yo, Joe.
Yo, Joe.
It's gonna be me.
Got one more hour.
You knew I had to get one more of those in there.
That one more. I wasn't expecting
more.
that. Well played. Well played. What was the count? We should have a counter.
That was at least 6.
I think we're around 6.
It's gonna be me.
That doesn't count because you're not on air anymore.
Well,
Extra
we're
point.
still on air.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, where?